Akram Khatak from first year BDS of Frontier Medical and Dental College, Ahmedabad. Today my topic of presentation is dental and supporting structures of tooth. Now starting from tooth. Tooth is a hardest calcified tissue present in human body. It is present in oral cavity. It helps us in mastication like chewing, phonation like speech, aesthetic like appearance, self-protection, and attack mainly in animals. Structure of tooth. Tooth consists of crown, root, and cervix or neck. You can appreciate it from given diagram: crown, neck, and after that root. Now what is crown? Crown is the portion of tooth that is covered by enamel, like the visible portion in our oral cavity. Crown is two types: clinical crown and anatomical crown. Clinical crown, that portion of tooth which is visible in mouth, called clinical crown. Its dimension can change with gingival covering, like hyperlayer of gingiva or hypolayer of gingiva. So it is not fixed. Anatomical crown, the portion of tooth which is covered by enamel, it is fixed or constant. You can appreciate it from given diagram: cervical line. Anatomical crown is starting from cervical line to incisal edge, while clinical crown is starting from gingival line to incisal edge. Root is root of tooth, portion of tooth covered by cementum, like crown is covered with enamel, root is covered with cementum, embedded with an alveolar bone, maybe single or multiple. Same like crown, root is divided into two types: clinical root and anatomical root. Clinical root, portion of root which is not visible in mouth, covered by gingival tissue, can change in dimension due to gingival covering. Anatomical root, portion of tooth that is covered with cementum, it is fixed. Now crown is further divided into enamel. It is the outermost covering of crown, hardest tissue of human body, even harder than bone, non-living tissue, and is incapable of remodeling and repair. Like after maturation, it become dead and not capable to regenerate itself again or repair itself again. Made of hydroxyapatite crystal, translucent in nature, bluish white in color, formed by ameloblast cells, which are specialized cells of enamel, leg formative cell, and blood vessels in mature state. Like discussed earlier, that it is non-living, so it doesn't have formative cell and blood vessels, because of which it is not sensitive to pain or any type of sensitivity. You can appreciate its structure from given diagram, labeled with enamel, the outer, the whitish color which is given in diagram. Under enamel, here is the tubular structure called dentin, which make bulk of tooth less harder than enamel, covered by enamel and crown and cementum and root. Like it is a common structure in crown and root. It is present in crown and root. In crown it is covered with enamel, while in root it is covered with cementum. Yellowish in color, living tissue and response to stimulus, not directly visible into, like it is covered with enamel and cementum, so it is not visible in oral cavity. Forms by odontoblast cells, which are specialized cells of dentin. You can appreciate its structure from the given diagram, like enamel, which is the outer portion. After that it is the dentin, which is dotted structure. It is a tubular structure which can be seen in 3D structure. Cementum, it covers root portion, like in crown, which is covered with enamel. Here root is covered with cementum, yellowish in color, softer than enamel, comparable to bone. Like it hardness is comparable to bone, thinnest at junction and thickest at apex. Like at cement to enamel junction, it is thinner, while at apex of root it is thicker, thickest. It forms throughout life, like it can regenerate itself. Formed by cementoblast cell, attach its function is attached to bony socket. You can appreciate its structure from a given diagram, which is the yellowish structure given in diagram. Pulp. Only soft tissue like cementum, enamel and dentin are hard connective tissue. Pulp is the only soft connective tissue present in tooth. Support dentin consists of connective tissue, nerves and blood vessel. Like it contains nerves, so it is sensitive to pain, and because of blood vessels, it provide nutrients to other living structures of tooth. Further, pulp is divided into two types: pulp canal and pulp chamber. Pulp canal, portion of pulp present in root, also called as root canal. Like similar to pulp is further divided in two types: pulp canal, pulp and pulp chamber. Pulp canal is portion of pulp present in root, while it is also called root canal, while pulp chamber is the portion of tooth present in crown. It's also called pulp cavity. You can appreciate its structure from given diagram: pulp chamber or pulp cavity, root canal or pulp canal. Now let's have an overview of what we have discussed. Uh, it's molar, structure of molar. Here the outermost covering is enamel. After that dentin. After dentin, the in crown there is pulp cavity. While structure of root is root having root canal, gum tissue or gingiva, cementum and nerves and blood vessels, and at last alveolar bone. From other side is a whole, the whitish portion is called crown. After that neck, and the portion which is embedded in alveolar bone called root. Now we are going to discuss supporting structures of tooth. Alveolar bone, the bone in which teeth are embedded, called alveolar bone. Like each tooth have their own socket in which it is embedded. That socket is formed of a bone called alveolar bone, which provide support to tooth. After that, periodontal ligament, fibrous attachment of tooth cementum to alveolar bone, uh, like ligaments from its name.